There you go.
Hey traders, Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com on November the 2nd, Sunday, with a look at the week ahead. Midterm elections are bullish. We also have November as the start of the strongest 6 months of the year. We have NYSE continues having a bullish crossover last week. Tick cumulative continues to move higher. RUT, the Russell, is lagging but catching up with the S&P, the comp, and the industrials. And we have sector performance, XLV, XLK, and XLI earnings estimates beating by the widest margin. That is from factset.com. Also from Factset is the increase in third quarter growth has been led by the energy sector. You can see some of the results here: ExxonMobil, Chevron, Phillips 66, ConocoPhillips, and Tesoro. Looking at the ES for a moment, we hit all-time highs of 2016.75 and closed the week at 2009.50 after backing off of those highs. I threw in some Fibonacci extensions. The 127 extension is at 2068. If we do see follow through, I'm thinking there may be three scenarios. One, we follow through on the back of midterm elections statistics continuing to move higher and possibly moving up to this level. The second scenario would involve flagging out here with slow stochastics getting back down to oversold and turning. And the third scenario is possibly a slight move higher over the next couple of days and then a move lower and then move higher into the end of the year, considering November is the start of the strongest 6 months of the year. One of the other things I'm considering in conjunction with the ES and the Fibonacci extensions is we bounced off the 50-period moving average on the weekly. We have this ascending channel that goes back to October 2011. We have slow stochastics bouncing off of oversold territory and looks like it has some upside potential left with it. Looking at the comp, we have a similar look. Prices bolted above volume by price bars, and we're seeing a broadening top pattern. The 10-period EMA is playing catch up. We have stochastics overbought. MACD continues to move higher. In addition, we have the number of stocks on the comp trading above their 50-period moving average at highs where we saw selling in the past. So that sort of supports the idea that we could see a flag or a pullback on the comp. If we did pull back, I would see this volume by price bar as support going into the week. Remember, XLK is seeing pockets of strength and information technology according to factset.com. We also pointed out the Japanese yen after the Bank of Japan said that they would ease at 3 times the rate that they were previously, and as a result the yen had dropped to a 7-year low and the Nikkei has increased by 4.8% to the upside. So looking for returns in the international stocks, we chose ANJIX as a fund that we put money to work in last week, looking for appreciation in international shares over the coming weeks and months ahead. The Dow Jones Industrials are above all the volume by price bars. We have a broadening top pattern, and what I'm expecting here with these 30 stocks is a possibility of a flag to a move slightly lower down to this volume by price bar, as slow stochastics is overbought and should turn. A better risk reward is to wait for slow sto to be down below 20 and turning back up. Note RSI continues to move higher and MACD is above its signal line. The industrials weekly, we can see potential upside if Bollinger Bands continue to expand and we break above these levels that we saw previously. We have the 17,500 level just overhead. RSI is moving higher on the weekly, and slow stow looks like it can continue to move higher as well. Remember, the daily is in overbought territory on stochastics and embedding, but we could see further upside given the situation with the Bank of Japan easing, as well as the midterm elections being bullish and the November through April period being the most bullish period of the 6 months of the year. This is a chart of the Russell 2000 Small Cap Index weekly. We note that prices have moved through this ascending trend line that we thought might be resistance, as well as the moving averages, and firmly established a new foothold above that level. Note that we could possibly see a move lower as well here, but slow stochastics indicates that we could see further upside momentum. In addition, we see MACD is trying to get back above its signal line. It's trying to cross back above zero on the histogram. So we could see further upside and possibly a triple top over the next couple of weeks if prices don't get there this week coming. One of the things that we considered this weekend in our Saturday blog post was a number of stocks above their 50-period moving average on both the S&P 500 as well as the NASDAQ are both getting into territory that previously saw a turn to the downside. Note the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline is moving higher, and the NASDAQ advanced decline is also moving higher. The strength here is obvious. We could use a respite to set up a possible move in higher into Christmas, Santa Claus rally, and then into January, February, March. So we're looking for further upside on the indices given all of the catalysts that we mentioned, considering that 362 companies that reported earnings today for Q3, 78% have reported earnings above the mean estimate. So that's another catalyst that we're looking for as a possibility for the futures to reach that 127 Fibonacci extension as one of the likely scenarios for the week ahead. So let's take a look at some setups for the week ahead. Most of these companies are in the energy sector for Q4 2014 EPS revisions. Note that we're talking about energy strengthening because it was lagging. Note some of the names that are on the list. We'll cover those. So let's take a look at those charts. First, Allergan. We had a nice flat base we pointed out back in the early spring, summer. We finally broke above that level in September, hit a nice level here at 193, backed off, pulled back to breakout, and now we're moving higher with slow stow having turned up and MACD moving sideways. CME Group, we see a double top currently. Bollinger Bands are starting to expand. It was a nice setup in here where we came down, touched the 50-period moving average. Now we're back above these volume by price bars. We're seeing a nice volume, and slow stow turned back up. CMS Energy. This is just an example I'm pointing out for the energy names I'll review in just a second, but we had a nice ascending triangle breakout in October, flagged out for 2 days, and then broke higher. Slow stow is bouncing off the 50 level. Southwest Airlines, after the Ebola scare, we saw buyers step in this value proposition down here. We had support down here at this volume by price bar level. Now we're back above this volume by price bar at 34.10, and we're trying to break out of this trend line. Note slow stow is somewhat sideways and could turn up or down, so you need to keep an eye on that if you're trading airlines. So now let's take a look at some of the charts that I picked up on. Dynergy, breaking above this trend line. We have a volume by price bar level here. If we make it through 31.50, it could break higher. Note slow stow turned and is moving higher. MACD is turning up as well as RSI. Note the volume. This is a Latin American name. Note the $12 level. We're trying to break above this volume by price bar. Flag out after a breakout of this descending wedge pattern. Retested, moving sideways. Now we're breaking higher. Note where slow stow is. This is a better look for most of these energy names, with MACD above its signal line moving higher and RSI looking good as well. It's a low float stock, very thinly traded, so just keep that in mind. Traded 89,000 shares last week. We saw the same thing on CUDA last week too. It was a thin name, but it did bolt. $2. We got some profits there and took them off. NRG Energy, volume by price level. We got this trend line to deal with. Bollinger Bands are narrowing, and slow stow bounced as well. OGE, I don't know if this stands for Oregon Energy, but could be bringing above this trend line. Came back, retested. Nice little bar on Thursday. Slow stow turning back up. Pampa Energia, we've traded this one before on this run up in early May into summer. Note the breakout level, nice level on Thursday, Friday, and slow stow needs to get oversold again for us to be interested. It's moving sideways. You may want to check out some of these names as well on a weekly basis, because weekly charts tend to indicate that there may be more upside in a chart just from a slow stow basis. Look at this nice big cup breaking. Looks like we have a handle here starting to break higher, and slow stow is moving higher as well. Pinnacle Daily, again, one of these names that just took off to the races. I'm looking for some of these other energy names to do the same thing. So let's take a look at our top 25 movers and shakers. Where are you? AKRX, noting the flag here. Bollinger Bands on the lower level are starting to turn up, so it's indicating a possible grind. Note stochastics is turning back up as well. Forgot to change it to slow stow. Costco, if you're stuck with this one, we had the 133 January calls, so those are in the money now, obviously, on Friday. We closed right at 133 on Thursday, so it's looking pretty good. Slow stow is moving sideways, so we probably may roll these to, we probably will take profits on these this week. EPAM, we saw this level, a little reversal candle there on Friday. Probably an area that we might want to be thinking about taking profits. We were in it from E2 here, right at the 40 level. So we got 8 points off of this. This is in my kid's Cloverdell ESA account. Facebook, I like both of these, Facebook and Twitter. Note the volume by price bars. We're staying inside of this, so there's support here. Note RSI is turning back up, and slow stow is almost oversold. We want to see this get down to oversold, turn around, and head back up for a long possibility going into the end of the year. NTES, number one in its group, we had a little reversal candle on Friday. Slow stow is continuing to move higher though, so this one looks okay. I'll be watching other names in the group as well that may have better setups on the slow stow. Netflix, obviously you got way oversold. Stochastics turned. Now we're turning back up again. MACD looks like it wants to cross this week. Had nice volume on Friday. And note RSI is heading back up. Netflix might continue to move higher. We have a target right here at the 200 period moving average, the magenta colored line. You also have the volume by price bars up here as well. Qihu, like this one, broke this downtrend, started moving sideways, got its act together, based out here, right at this resistance level, previous 74.10 areas of resistance, plus you have the 50 period moving average descending here. We'll see how this acts on Monday. Stow is bouncing back up as well. VIP Shop's holding, only showing this because Mikey's in this name. He's doing pretty well. A little breakout level here on this descending channel line. Got back above the 50. Now Bollinger Bands are continuing to expand. We're right at this double top, so keep an eye on that on Monday. Yelp looked really good. Nice descending channel pattern. I negated these only because I wanted to have a nice clean looking channel here. Price is going to encounter this volume by price bar level. Note stochastics Probably one of the more clean setups with the slow still turning up, and MACD looks like it wants to follow on volume with RSI turning back up as well. Probably could see 62.50 pretty quick. I'm not much on trading descending channels. I'd rather wait for a breakout and then see momentum and slow still reset again. It's just my preference, but Yelp looks pretty decent for a short term swing like a day or two. YY looks pretty decent as well. I'm not sure when earnings are. Slow still's turning back up on this one as well. Zillow, nice descending channel. Note it held off of the lower trend line. It didn't get down there again, so that's positive. We have a double bottom, and we have slow still. We have stochastics. I haven't changed this one either to slow still. We have stochastics turning back up after MACD turn above its signal line. Volume's looking pretty decent, and RSI looks good as well. We get back above this Kirby level, volume by price level, it could shoot up to 115 pretty quick, 116 on Zillow. Okay, I hope this helps. This is because Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com. For you new traders, come check the site out. There's a number of good videos here at the top. These top 4 are excellent, and this one on daily scan, how to find better setups. We give you the scans for the most part, but how to use it is good to know as well. There's a lot of tools and strategies here for you to use, as well as the blog. You just click here, or you can go right to this address right here. Note it's case sensitive, being it's a Linux server. theclosingprint.com/CV_blog. You need to use caps there, as I've shown. And if you want to be a subscriber, it's a spam-free site. We don't send anything out to you. We're not interested in selling anything to you. Just enter your email here and hit submit, and you'll get these updates over the weekend. When you're not watching Twitter or whatever, it'll pop up on your email as well. So this is good to have for new traders, so that you don't miss any tweets. All right, so this is a pretty good. Make sure you check Overbought Can Get Overbought, or this post that I put on the first. Very interesting twist on the video as well, more detail, and there's a lot of links in here regarding some of the things that I mentioned from Hugh Karowitz's blog, as well as FactSet and some of the other notable bloggers that are out there. Okay, take care. Again, I hope this helps. It's Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com, and we'll see you on the stream on Monday. Don't forget to get out there and vote on Tuesday.